Hi, I'm Keri Murphy, and welcome to Spotlight, where we showcase incredible entrepreneurs and their stories. Have you ever gone through a time in your life where you weren't sure how you were going to come out on the other side? Or maybe you're in a place right now where you're working so hard and you're going through a life transition and you forget about the most important person out there. That is you. And by the way, what is the difference between self-care and self-love? And is there any? Well, today I am sitting down with self-care expert and life transition specialist, Melissa Robinson, to help guide us through the transition process and give us some great tips on how to get to the other side. Melissa, thank you so much for joining me. Long overdue. So excited about this conversation we're going to have today. So tell me a little bit about how you came into this role as a self-care expert and life transition specialist. I mean, that's something that's very unique.
Yes. When I was 13 years old, it's not like I came into it, it found me. When I was 13 years old, my dad was murdered.
Wow.
And I think in our society, or actually I know in our society, it's just to go on with the next. How do you process that at that young age?
And you're 13?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going along at, I finally realized that I can't just keep on going on. I would go to school, I would do all these things, they had me talk to counselors.
Sure.
But it was still an emotion that was still in there. And through a family friend, I found something called Touch for Health, which is applied kinesiology. And I realized I never processed my dad's death. So at 15 and 16, I went through this process of really being able to feel in order to heal it.
And most people, by the way, Melissa, would not go through that at 15 or 16, probably. You know, they wouldn't do that work at that time. And I think a lot of us, you're right, we just keep going. When something major happens, like, I got to keep running, I got to keep going.
And like I said, it chose me. It
Right.
happened. Life happened. And that's what, it's happening all the time. We go through things in our life. But at the age of 16, I realized a new shift happened, and I was able to express myself and have peace around that, because it really is like a whole is missing. Part of you is missing when that happens.
Yeah.
But so I realized there's a way to process emotions, and I was certified at the age of 17, by the time I was 17.
What were you certified in?
I was certified in Touch for Health, which is applied kinesiology. You do body testing to release emotions. And, but
And that was a conscious decision. You're like, I want to get certified to do this.
Exactly.
Because of how much it helps you.
Exactly.
Wow.
And, you know, sometimes it's almost like we're running hurdles. Yes, my dad died when I was 13 years old. He was only 39. But 6 months later, my mom got into a accident at work, and she was almost paralyzed from her neck down.
6 months later?
6 months later.
I mean, come on, that is some serious life transition at
So
that age.
all these emotions are happening, and you don't know how to handle that. Luckily, when you're ready, you find the right people, and they step in. And luckily, I had the right people step in for me. And what that was being able to process emotions. At the age of 14 and 15, I was thinking about life and death and how we have just this moment. So
That's some pretty deep thinking at that age.
yes. Then fast forward a little bit, I went into the spa industry because I realized I wanted something a little bit lighter. Let's just help people. Let me just help people relax,
Right.
you know?
Maybe not quite so deep. Can we make it a little bit more topical?
So I did that, and I realized that I would have these women come in at the spa. I got certified. I studied in Hawaii. I got certified as an HHP, which is a holistic health practitioner.
Okay.
And so I learned about aromatherapy, nutrition, all of that. But I would have women come in, and I would do massages on them. And they would go back with their busy life, and they come back and see me again, and they're all still stressed out. And I didn't really make the connection until I went to another life transition, which was my divorce. And that life transition made me look at who I was being. I can get lots of massages, but yet until I took care of the space in between my head and the positive thoughts, which is the difference between self-care and self-love. self-care is getting the massages, making sure, getting the time for a manicure.
Get that mani-pedi done, right?
Get it done. Feel good about that and who you are. And
no shame, no
like
guilt.
someone asked me
Right.
today, do you feel expensive? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I do. You gotta feel good.
Gotta feel good.
But what is it? It's not gonna be just putting on lotion or putting on a little aromatherapy.
That's fleeting, right? I mean, that's fleeting feeling good.
It's just putting icing on a mud pie.
Yeah.
So what really...
You said it nicely, a mud pie.
So what really helped is taking a look and delving deeper into those things that are uncomfortable, like I'm not good enough, or I feel unworthy, or whatever. But keeping that positive mindset when you're there. Mm-hmm. And there's 3 tips that if I were to give anybody, if you're in the middle of transition, it would just be really, really, really simple.
Please give them to us. What are they?
The 3 tips are, number 1, stop. Just stop what you're doing and pause. Take a moment to take a deep breath and acknowledge yourself. You went through something really, really tough.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love that you actually teach people and walk them through is meditation.
Yes.
Because for a lot of people, you go, a what? Like, I'm not Hindu. Like, I have to meditate. And as we understand the power of meditation, the power of pause, the power of breath, it's something that since I've started practicing, it's a life changer. It really is, because we don't take that time. Mm-hmm. And everything else suffers from that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, and when you're calm like that with the meditations, you're able to see things clearly, which is my second tip. Is really, you just want to be able to honor where you're feeling. And so when you do the meditations, you can kind of check in with yourself. Okay, what's going on?
Melissa, how important is it to actually cry and feel the feelings and get that out?
Oh my goodness, so important. It is so important. I was telling someone just the other day, I love my anger. That's when stuff gets done.
Right.
But if you do it in a way to where you can channel it in the right way and you can really feel it, honor it, honor your feelings. Okay, yes, I'm feeling really, really, really sad. What do I need?
Do you think women are taught to stuff their feelings?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Good.
I can cook dinner, do the laundry, and take you out.
Right. I got this all together.
Yes.
I'm fine, dear.
And run a business.
Yes, exactly.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. We're in the background here just, drinking the wine. I don't know, is that just me? I'm like...
I've had my moment.
But the reason why I bring that up is because, and it could just be my own childhood experiences, is I do feel like there's a predisposition in our maybe genetic makeup or the way society, has brought us up that we say, you can't show anger, right? You can't, don't cry in front of your family or don't be too vulnerable.
Oh yeah, it's not pretty.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had someone say to me lately, I'm never a hot mess. I'm like, how are you never a hot mess? To never be a hot mess means that you're never releasing emotions, to me anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's important to release the emotions, but most importantly, what stops people is they stay there. Or what stops them from even going there and never being a hot mess is they don't know the tools to be able to
get to the other side of that.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't want to go there because I'm not sure I'm going to get out of that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly.
good. So good.
So the third tip would be to really look at who you're being and where do you want to go. Because events are going to come and go. Chaos is going to happen. Life will life you. But who are you going to be in the midst of that? And that's where those defining moments come in. Mm-hmm. That's where you get to say, if you choose, you can say, I'm going to make a difference, or I'm going to be loving in this situation, or I choose to be powerful. And you get to choose to be that calm space instead of reacting. So much we go into survival mode.
Yeah.
Things happen, you just go, 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 go. You don't know how to react. And there's
fight or flight kicks in, and sometimes that's healthy.
You have to have that.
Right, yeah.
You have to have that. I use this example all the time. I was 2 years ago, my whole house, natural disaster happened. My whole house was covered in mud. And I had to move every stitch of furniture. I didn't actually move it.
Thank goodness.
I love my brother and his friends.
But still, just the feeling and that experience of having your
But we
house.
had to move, within
goodness.
72 hours, everything had to be out. The floor had to be ripped out, or else mold would have happened.
Right, of course.
So that was a necessity. That was a necessity. I needed to be there. But what didn't need to happen is 30 days later to still be in that mode.
Right.
I had to step back, take a conscious choice of like, who am I being? What do I need? Oh, you know what? I'll let the guys handle this today, and I'm going to go to the beach.
Yeah, and how am I going to let this affect me long term? Right? Not just in this moment, but like you said, 30 days later, am I still going to be pissed off that my house flooded? Or am I going to make a conscious decision to be like, you know what? It happened. Like, we're going to figure it out, and I'm going to have a good attitude about it.
Yeah, who are you being in that moment?
Talking about who are you being? Melissa, I've met literally throughout my life, as we all have, thousands of people. And I will say, working with you and knowing you these last 3 years, you are such a special woman. Like, you know, it's easy to have these conversations and to do this interview and be like, you know, oh, Zen, meditate, you know. You are a walking example in all the years that I've known you of this conscious decision to be a certain way, and your light and your love and your commitment to helping people find true self-love and to navigate through these tough waters that we all do. I'm in awe of you, and no wonder why Dr. Oz had you on his show. And I just feel like more people need to know what you teach and implement it in their lives, because you show up and you're just always like this loving ball of like consciousness. And I just have to say, like, it's rare to find someone who I feel is like so grounded and just at peace with themselves and their life. And I know you have your days where none of us, you know, it's not rainbows and lollipops every day, but I will say I've known you a really long time, and this is how she is, everyone. So if you're going through a hard time, work with her, because she will talk to you and you will find your Zen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to add something, that my dad was murdered, and it was a tragic murder. And I later came across his death certificate. And the reason why I'm so passionate about what I do is that I know that people only can love themselves to the capacity of which they love themselves. And on his death certificate, it said, killed by another. And I read that, and I'm like, what happened to love one another?
Wow.
What happened to that? And it really, I'm so passionate about helping people love themselves, because I know the trickle effect it will have on the world,
society,
my daughter. You know, my daughter is looking at me. She's going to be growing up in a world that we're all in. Your daughter is.
Yeah, sure.
We need leaders who love themselves. And it's just a blessing to work with these women that are women leaders. I love that.
Yeah. So explain a little bit about how you work with people.
Well, we take an honest look at your life. Where are you? You know, what's working, what is not working. And if you want to go somewhere, what are the steps that you need to take? And then, you know, it's scary to get to the other side. It's scary to step into that new role.
Sure.
And how do we shift that?
So it's like map and mindset.
Yes.
Really. It's the combination of both.
Yes.
Because you can't have a map, but the mindset is not in alignment with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can't be all mindset without a map, because then you're just Zen, but you're not going anywhere.
Right. And then when you're working on the mindset and when you're working on the map, you have to be in control of who you're being. And so that's when aromatherapy comes in place, because then you can be nurtured with that.
And you have all these natural recipes,
Yes.
so you don't have to go to a spa, but then you can do a lot of great things at home to take care of yourself too.
Yes. To take that moment, to take that pause so you can be powerful, have your cup filled first, and then go out there. So.
I love you, Melissa Robinson.
I love you
Thank you for what
too.
you do in the world.
Thank you.
We need more of her. We need to continue to spread the self-love. And I just really hope that after watching this interview, you take some moments and time to breathe and to take that space and to ask yourself, how am I being? Because it really is such a big life differentiator. So again, Melissa, thank you so much.
Thank you, Keri.
And if people want to learn how to work with you, how do they do that?
You know, on my website, www.melissarobinson.com.
And we will have the link here so you can go check it out. And again, you have meditations, you have different spa recipes.
I have free resources as far as like a Love Yourself Challenge, 7 days of stepping into loving yourself.
So good.
Yes.
And it is important. If you don't love yourself, we really cannot show up powerfully for anybody else. It is all about self-love. And speaking of love, please share the love by sharing this with someone that you care about. And as always, we love to read your comments, so please post them below, because when you are inspired, you inspire others. And if you're looking for more inspiration and business tips, please subscribe and head over to inspiredliving.tv. As always, remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.